check out here, there's a couple things going on with this water heater. It's a newer model water heater. They've done the TPR valve with the wrong material, the plastic material. And that's important. If it over pressurizes, it's going to be really hot water coming out of here. So we don't want this to melt. The second thing we're seeing in here is that there's no combustible air vents in here. So every gas appliance needs air to burn or create a combustible flame on there. If we close the door, if the door's open, it's fine, but if we close the door, then we have an issue on it. And then the second thing is the flue on here. It's a little bit warm, but it's loose, so we want to get that secured as well. All really simple fixes, but just something that should be addressed. So I want to make sure that the material is in good shape. We want to see what kind of material or what the firebox is made out of. Look for any crack in the material. Also want to open the damper or flue, make sure that's operational as well. Both so that it opens when you decide to do have a fire, or that it closes in the summertime when you don't want your AC shooting up the chimney itself. We're going to flood the base of the shower, try and collect some water in there, kind of simulate a clog, see if we can get it to, or to make sure that there's not a leaking around the perimeter of it. That way, really what we'd be concerned about in that respect is if water got behind the wall. It's not actually the leak itself, but we don't want to get a slow, sustained leak back there. So we got both the shower heads working at the same time. And the sink running, we want to see if we have a drop of water pressure. In this bathroom, we don't have a fan to go into the top, but we have an openable window, so that counts as proper ventilation on there as well. This is filling up pretty good. And we're going to let it sit. We're going to run a lot of water in there just to give it a really nice test. So on this one, my first inclination is to turn right when we're getting water coming from there. And then if we go left, we also get water from there. So there's really no top dead center or direct shut-off point. So the mixer valve back there is kind of confused. Come on down here. So I checked out underneath when I'm about to release the water down here. We're going to release it. What we have is a pretty large gap that they've cut out. Looks like they've replaced a lot of the plumbing down there. Turn the light on. And we have some copper plumbing. I see PVC tying into cast iron plumbing back there as well. No signs of leaking, which is good. But if you look to the bottom portion right here, we have what's called galvanized plumbing. So that's going to tell me that the old galvanized plumbing, while it's probably been replaced, there still may be some running through the property, so we're going to be on extra diligent and take a look out for that material as well. It's just an older material. It's past its effective useful life, so something we want to steer the clients away from if we catch any. That's termite. So we're in the depths of the attic, and we've gone back to the west side of the attic, and we followed along and saw quite a bit more termite damage on the ceiling joist. Again, the concern is really a question of what's back through here. The other thing that we saw, which wasn't present in the receptacles and which wasn't present in the electrical box, but it is here, is that we got a little single strand aluminum wiring. So we're going to have an electrician take a look at that as well, make sure that everything's tested. But that should definitely be in a junction box 1, and then you want to have an electrician check out single strand aluminum wiring. So on this panel, we don't have what's called a main electrical or designated main electrical breaker. This is called a split bus bar. So basically the main electrical wires come into the top, and under current standards, a panel has to be, or a house has to be shut off of all electricity in 6 throws or 6 breaker poles. So on this particular panel, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 This breaker then shuts down the rest of the panel itself. What I'm seeing in here too is an excessive amount of this foam debris, and you know, I just don't know anything about this particular type of foam, so I'm going to recommend further evaluation on it, just to make sure that it's not a safety hazard inside the interior of the panel as well. You just don't want too many foreign objects messing around with electricity. So I pulled off the cover panel. This would be the older side of the house, block wall, pretty hard to make grounded. All of our outlets today are three-prong outlets. They all tested ground with the receptacle tester, but I had suspicions after being in the attic that we still had some of the old two wire wiring system. It's a tough one to say, try that again. I had some suspicions that we had some two-wire wiring systems, so I thought that some of the outlets would not be grounded. So even though I tested this and it tested as ground, I removed the cover and I discovered what's called a bootleg ground. And a bootleg ground is where they connect the neutral wire to the bottom of the ground wire so that any common tester would test as a ground, or test it as a ground. But actually, what it can do is turn whatever's plugged into there as a hot fixture or so. So we have one false bootleg ground. There's probably others around the house. They did spray some of that foam in there, so they're tough to see. So we're going to recommend an electrician take a look at that and correct as they see fit.